Hello everybody, this is Angelique Kidjo and you are watching Music News. Stay tuned.
Angelique Kidjo, it's great to meet you. We're here at Westminster at the VSO 20th Anniversary Christmas Carol Concert. I just heard you sound checking, it sounded amazing. How did you get involved?
I've been involved with VSO for a couple of years now. The first show we did was, I think, 5-6 years ago at Royal Albert Hall with Hugh Masekela.
Yeah.
And it was a huge party. And it was fun, and I fell in love with the energy of the volunteer that helped put this together. And it's always amazing to see an organization that have fun while helping at the same time. Most of the time, some of them take themselves too serious, I have to say.
Yeah, no, it's a great, it's a great occasion, and it's a royal occasion as well. Are you going to meet Princess Anne later?
Yeah, that's what I heard. Until it happened, I can't tell you much.
But the last time I saw you perform was at Mawazine Festival in Morocco. Great show as always. I've seen you a few times there actually.
Mawazine, yep.
Yeah, and is playing live the best bit for you?
Yeah. Me, I'm more happy live than in the studio. I hate studio.
Yeah?
I've hated it for years. It's from
necessary evil.
Yeah, it's a necessary evil. But I really just don't like it. But I find since last, I would say 10 years, a way to do my music in studio without being in a place where I want to jump out of studio faster than getting in. So I put everybody in the studio, we rehearse, we cut the song, that's it.
Yeah, good. But you've been described as the undisputed queen of African music. You've been named the African Content's 50 most iconic figures. You're in Forbes' most powerful African celebrities list. You're a source of inspiration to women worldwide.
How does that happen?
But what is your secret?
I don't have any secret. There's no secret in loving people and doing right by the people. Yeah, talking is easy. Talk is cheap and action is expensive, as I used to say. And I put my mouth where I do things. And because also I believe in the people of my continent, because I grew up there and I know the resource of people. I know how strong and resilient we are. And those kind of quality, I brought them with me, because when you arrive in a country where your culture is so different, it doesn't matter if you speak the language of the people, you have to adapt to so many things. How do you adapt to so many things without losing yourself? If you haven't learned it from home, if you haven't have your root deeply engraved in you. So for me, my continent is not for sale, it's not to be disrespected by anybody. So I do what is really in my guts, and I never try to please the fashion, and I follow my inspiration. The song comes, I write them as they are. Sometimes they are ahead of time. Sometimes people just don't want to listen to it. It's okay, but there are always going to be somebody that wants to listen to it. For me, music is a universal language. It's a weapon of peace. It always amazes me to put weapon and peace at the same time in the one phrase, but that's the best definition I can find for it. I'm proud of being an African person. I'm proud of where I come from, and I'm proud of my culture. Because I've realized throughout my musical journey when I left my country that the music of my ancestors have made rock and roll possible, blues possible, jazz possible, classical music possible, pop music possible, R&B. Every music that you take, there's not one bit of it that you don't find back in Africa.
It's very true. I mean, you mixed a lot of styles as well. You know, Afro pop, Caribbean, zouk, Congolese rumba, jazz, gospel. Where do you feel most at home?
All of them I feel home in it, because it had the imprint of my ancestors. The only thing that helped the slave keep their dignity and their humanity is their culture. And even though the one that made it to America, they removed the drums, the slave owner removed the drums from their hand, afraid of the potential of communication tool that the drum can be. But they forget that we don't only have drums, we have voices too.
Yeah, absolutely, and you've got a great voice. I mean, you've also collaborated with a huge amount of people: Alicia Keys, Ziggy Marley, Peter Gabriel, Bono, Santana, John Legend. The list goes on. Who is there left that you'd like to sort of record with, work with?
I mean, I like to work with every different kind of artist. Doesn't matter where they come from. It's not the fame that make any difference to me. It's what the music means to them, and it's about how we collectively as artists can prove to the world that we are not that different, that we share the same culture, and music can help us prove that point. Because it's not a matter of color, it's not a matter of language, it's just a matter of letting people's DNA get to it. As soon as you hear it, You feel home of it. It doesn't matter which language it's sung in. It's the only thing pretty much that cannot be taken away from us. Everything else can be taken away, but you cannot take away our voices.
Yeah, in fact, and you speak in many languages, sing in many languages, and you've even created your own language.
I always do.
How do you start making up words?
Inspiration, it comes, I sing it. I don't ask the question where it comes from. As Philip Glass said, inspiration is from the domain of the unknown. If we know it, we'll kill it. We will have killed it long time ago. So I don't question it. It comes. If the language gibberish comes to my head, I'm singing gibberish.
Well, thanks a lot. I'm really looking forward to the show tonight. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. Anything else you'd like to say to Music News watchers?
Well, what I have to say to people is that there's always a way to do something for other people in your country and abroad. Volunteering is a way to do things, and also people always think that the work is too big. A human life is never too big for somebody to intervene at one point to help that person. We all at one point in our life need somebody to give us a helping hand to help us rise up and take lead in our own life and move on. And if we lose that humanity, we lose that capacity of empathy, loving and sharing, then we lose ourselves.
Fantastic. Very well said. Thank you very much for
You're
your time.
welcome. Thanks.
Always helps.
I was like, okay, that's a good one.